big g'day and welcome to RDFL TV Online. And what a fantastic weekend we did have in round 14 as the league celebrated NAIDOC round, and hats off to the Rockbank Football Netball Club. They did a sensational job hosting Melton Centrals on the weekend, and they made a really great spectacle, a great crowd, and certainly made it a magnificent day to remember. And they deserve all the success they've had that day. It's the second year running, and it was great to be part of seeing the atmosphere in action. Now, round 14 produced a few surprises, a few great games, but when we look at surprises, let's just have a look at the weather, because it was simply sensational. We saw a little bit of sunshine, a little bit of overcast conditions, but most importantly, we didn't see any rain. We on Highlands FM had the great pleasure of getting out to a rip-roaring game down at the Eric Boardman Reserve as Rupert's Wood travelled all the way to the mighty Sunbury Kangaroos, which of course is not a big travel at all. Sensational day for footy, great atmosphere, and of course great to see the great tributes paid to those who were lost in the air flight accident last week, with a minute's silence through the under-18s, reserves and seniors, which I'm led to believe was the case throughout the weekend, and black armbands were worn accordingly. And so a lot of tributes and a lot of great memories, a lot of great stories shared. On the footy field though, the Rupert's Wood side had a chance to beat the Kangaroos for the very first time, and after a very competitive first half where 2 goals were kicked, the conditions, muddy or dry mud, but when you saw the fact there was 20 goals in slippery conditions in the under-18s, it was just purely down to pressure. In the third term, we saw up to about 8 lead changes throughout the quarter, and the goals started to flow. When scores were level at the 7-minute mark of the final term, we thought we might have a game on. Then Rupert's Wood, in low-scoring conditions, kicked 3 goals in 3 minutes and basically end the contest. But it was a fantastic affair, and Niall McGovern was the Highlands FM Hanging Rock Winery Player of the Day for his brilliant work down back, and I think he had a lot to do with his team winning the game. And of course, great to see the great man Dan Jordan taking great marks in the forward line there for the Sharks. Matty Walsh in game 200, arguably one of the better players on the day. It's a shame that the Kangaroos boys couldn't get up for him. Plenty of other great games going on around the competition, and Woodend Heskett and Macedon travelled out to Diggers Rest in a game that was relocated with plenty of warning the previous week, and a very, very good ground. They put on a really good show. Congratulations to Chris Payne and the team at Diggers Rest, allowing the Hawks and the Cats to use their facilities. Great game there by the Cats. They led by 25 points at half-time before kicking away to a 58-point win. And it was their first win since Saturday, April 26th, so Anzac Day weekend, which was over Kilmore. And of course, their other win was against the Hawks with a kick after the siren back in round 1. So they've got the wood over the Hawks at the moment. Dan Trotter was the best player on the ground there by a fair stretch, kicking 6 goals. The utility in fine form. Phil Shaw kicked 3 goals there for the Hawks. In another game very close to home, Goonawarra Reserve, the Rolling Meadows, played host to Riddle and Lansfield in a very good playing deck. And the Bombers, it was just business as usual. Brian Ruffle kicking 5 of the best. Tim Hill proving to be one of the recruits of the season. Very underrated, but does a sensational job across half-back and in the midfield. Unfortunately for the Tigers, they didn't have too many winners on the day, as the Bombers went on to win by 86 points. And of course, this was a game that was relocated on Thursday, so it wasn't too much of a big crowd there, but they did the best that they could. OKRFM had the big game of the weekend and of quite some time, as Kilmore fell agonisingly short of their debut win of the season. They fell 5 points short to the Pies. Great day, great atmosphere, great to see the Blue Boys. They were down and out at 3/4 time. Unfortunately, time just didn't have the benefit, or didn't benefit them towards the end. The Pies just showing a lot of spirit, and they'll take that into the big clash this weekend when they play Broadford. Going to be a great game, that one there. Other games to consider over the course of the weekend, of course, we look at Rockbank Melton Centrals on Sunday afternoon. Terrific day for football and netball. Of course, the Rams coming away with a 36-point win, and certainly well deserved. They work hard. We saw a cracking first half. Conditions were ideal. You couldn't get much better than that. Again, Jakey Armistead, simply sensational throughout the entire day. And of course, Stewie Lowe did very well, marked everything that headed his way. As for the Centrals, well, they'll live to fight another day as the gap is now closing off their chances of making the final. So a bit disappointed for them, a side that has so much promise and talent. Of course, there was another big game on Saturday which we can't forget. Two great rivals. Broadford very undermanned. They ran hard with the Redbacks in the first term and early on in the second term, but the Redbacks proceeded to kick 19 of the last 20 goals of the game after at one stage the scores were about 40-20. Unfortunately for the Roos, their streak of 4 games comes to an end, and the Redbacks, well, they just keep giving us many more reasons why they are the team to beat in this competition. Brad Mitchell starring on the day with 5 goals. Chris Matoro making his return back to Redbacks colours after playing in the Vic Countryside. And mind you, did a sensational job over there, impressed many of his teammates with his run and dash. So the Redbacks, well, Harley Hammond Reserve, they tore it up. They went on to win by more than 20 goals. Fantastic performance there. The Roos, well, they've got a lot of potential there. Corey Vianney, sensational on the day, one of his better performances of the year, and hopefully they can keep that up towards the business end of the season. Well, what a cracking round 14 was in the RDFNL. There'll be a few surprises in round 15, and we're eagerly awaiting just what's going to happen in round 15 of the Riddle District Football